Welcome to Podnutz Daily for December 9th, 2008, episode number 118. I took a bunch of notes today of things I did at the shop, and I forgot it at the shop. So I'm just going to go over a couple things real quick here, and then we'll hit some voicemails and emails, and then tomorrow when I get the notes, I'll go over what the notes I wanted to bring. But one thing is on Dial-A-Fix. I don't know if you guys have ever used Dial-A-Fix. I recommend that you do as part of like your daily, not daily, as part of your cleanup regimen. Whenever you want to clean up a machine, just throw Dial-A-Fix in there and run it. It can't hurt. One of the things that Dial-A-Fix has, though, is if you look at there's a big button that says Policies on the actual interface. And if you click on the Policies button, you'll see if there's any policies in place that are stopping you from doing things. For example, we had a computer today where we couldn't access the Task Manager, and then we clicked on Policies, and we saw that there was a policy stopping us from accessing a Task Manager. This is using Windows XP. So it allows you to uncheck those policies and delete them. But what was happening with this one is every time we deleted the policies, they kept coming back. That may happen sometimes, may not happen other times, but always check in Dial-A-Fix when you run Dial-A-Fix, see if there's any policies that are existing that you want to get rid of, because there could be policies that are stopping you from doing things in the operating system that you need to get done. Well, in this case, we finally we ran Malwarebytes before we ran Dial-A-Fix. After that, we had that problem. Or actually, after Dial-A-Fix, after we had that problem, let Malwarebytes run and do its thing. And then after Malwarebytes ran, those policies, I think, were eliminated. No, policies were still in place, but we were able to then delete them. Now, we had a really infected machine today. Just spyware and pop-ups and this kind of thing. I think it was XP Antivirus 2009 or something like that. And what did we do? We tried to run Malwarebytes, and it would not let us run Malwarebytes. So this is on the notes. I'm going to try to remember it, just do it from memory here. But so what we did, and this is a computer my dad was working on, he took Malwarebytes on his flash drive, and he copied it to the root directory of the computer, and then changed the name of it, changed the name of the executable, and ran it. And that's the only way we could get it to run. So it ran, and it installed Malwarebytes, and then we had Malwarebytes there in the program files directory. When we tried to run Malwarebytes, it wouldn't allow it to run. If we went into the program files directory and changed the name of the exe file to something else and ran it, and it did run. So if you ever have a problem running Malwarebytes or Super Anti-Spyware, one of these programs, you might have to do a little name changing before it'll actually allow you to run it, because I think a lot of these spyware infections recognize what's going to try to get rid of them, and it's going to try to stop that from running. So if you change the name of it, you might be able to get it to run. More details on that tomorrow. I don't have the exact notes, but I think that was the general gist of it. All right, let me play a couple voicemails now. And I think it was Paul from San Antonio. He sent me a 10-minute voicemail. I'm not going to play that one today because I want to listen to the whole thing before I play it, but I'm going to play a bunch of the other ones I have, and then we'll do that one tomorrow. Here we go.
Hey, Steve. This is Brent. I called in a week or two ago about the wearing non-glare on your glasses. I have a little problem with the computer I'm fixing right now. It's a Gateway laptop running Vista. It's a CD-DVD combo drive. The drive will read DVDs, but CDs, it just bogs the computer down. It won't read them. Doesn't show anything that recognizes a CD. I went in and thought maybe this is like an upper-lower filter problem with iTunes. Took those out of the registry, restarted it. Nothing. I cannot find a firmware update for anything. Drivers are up to date, and I'm stumped. I can't figure out, why it will read the DVDs but not CDs. If you have anything that you might know of that'll help it, I'll shoot you an email if you need any more details about anything. But just if you please have a response, let me know, man. Thank you. Later.
Hey, Britt. Thanks for that. Hang on one second. Okay. What I was going to say was that sounds kind of funny. I never had that problem myself. I would try to do what you did and try to locate the firmware. But if you can't find that, here's what I would do. I would actually go into the control panel under Device Manager, and I would uninstall the drivers for that CD player. And then I would either go into the control panel to find new hardware, or you can just reboot the system and it'll try to find a new hardware and reinstall the drivers. And let it go ahead and do that. Let it reinstall the drivers for that hardware, and then maybe it will act differently. At that point, maybe the drivers are just corrupted. If that doesn't work, I think it's time for a new CD or a new DVD drive. I mean, they're like only $30 now. You can get them for at Micro Center anyway for a DVD writer. But I would try the drivers thing first. Okay, thanks for that voicemail. Let's play another one here.
Hi, this is Damon from Washington. I love your show, and just calling in about the guy that was having some problems with his router and getting it hooked up. What I've found in the past is that I actually have to power down the router and the modem, and if you have to reset the router to default, go ahead and go online and you get the default admin password, and go ahead and there's a little button in the back of the router that you hold down for 10 seconds. It'll reset it, all the settings inside of it to its default. And then what I'll do is I'll plug everything in, turn on first the modem, wait about 10 seconds, then the router, then wait about 10 seconds, then the PC. And what this does is it actually helps the router and the modem create a routing table that will end up sticking. And remember that you always have to follow a network scheme that goes along with the subnet mask. So the last octet in the IP address is actually the client ID. So if you have a 192.168.0.1, then the next address should be still the 192.168.0.2 or 3 or 10. Staying within that same subnet, they should all be able to communicate. And I hope this helps. I love the show. I work for Microsoft and drive about an hour and a half to work every day and listen to you every day on my way to work, and keep up the good work. Thank you very much. All right. Bye.
Thank you very much. Thanks for the voicemail. And he's got